But again, I liked the scene a lot where Batman gives her the eye camera thing and she kind of has to go around and ID people. That looked very much like from something ripped out of the Arkham games. That whole, plot point seemed like it felt like it was very much ripped from the Arkham games in that way. With that whole thing, with even just like the way that it looked like when it would come up on someone's face, and it's crazy. Like, and it really like that scene kind of helps open up the whole story and show that this is more than just a murder mystery. Right. This is something that is deeper. And I loved how the Riddler kind of helps show Batman that this is all, kind of leading back to the corruption of his own parents and how they were, and this is very much kind of built off of Todd Phillips' Joker film, how, Thomas Wayne was kind of shown as this like corrupt, billionaire, financier. And I like how this film kind of flipped that and applied it to the actual character of Bruce Wayne and Batman. And he has this kind of, cognitive dissonance of like, how could my parents be, involved in this corruption when, right. I've only been told that they were great philanthropists and all that. And like, that was something that was very different from what we had seen in prior Batman films. Because before that, they were always portrayed in a positive light, and it was always a tragedy. But like seeing them get murdered or hearing them get murdered in this film, you kind of understand it more. Like in the Nolan films and other Batman films, it's kind of just shown more so as like a tragedy, and it was just like a freak accident. But like this film really adds purpose to it, and that was kind of what I was saying in the spoiler-free moment when I was talking about how this film did a great job of kind of tying in the Batman origin story without replaying the Batman origin story again. You know what I mean?
They're getting better at it. I mean, we've seen it in like the Spider-Man movies, especially with the ones with Tom Holland and like the Spider-Verse. They kind of briefly touch upon it, but everybody knows how this has all started.
Right.
So we're going to breeze through it, which is good. And of course, too, I mean, like seeing the Wayne family be bad. I mean, their tower wasn't shiny. It was old. Mm-hmm. There was no, Wayne Manor. Even the Batcave. I mean, very, very minimal. Like nothing like we've seen before. And of course, too, like the gadgets are huge. We talked about gadgets for a while on the No Time to Die.
Right.
He's young. He's using a motorcycle and then a jacked up maybe Mustang or something like that. Nothing crazy. Like it is very basic. I mean, his more gadgets on his hand are a lot more unique. And he's got tasers in his fists.
Yeah.
Of course, he's got the grapple hook and everything like that. And the Batarang. Oh, that was badass. I wish we had more of the Batarang.
Yeah.
But I was just really kind of getting into the car. Of course, the car was badass, and that chase scene you mentioned was awesome.
Yeah, it was excellent. Yeah, and it was
just kind of seeing the different. It's another different Batman, different family, different everything, and successful in all aspects, especially with the villains. We got a good taste of them, and of course, even real spoiler warning. We saw one at the end, and I think we even got a glimpse of maybe not Bane, but definitely some Bane juice. He definitely used some juice to jack him up.
Yeah, that was like the stim pack, I think, or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's in the Batman Arkham games where he ejects himself. Like, it was almost like the serum from Logan. At the end of the film when he like jacks himself up with it and then he goes crazy. That was interesting.
Exactly.
That was interesting. So like, I think having those gadgets and like you said, and I think it kind of played into like what we were talking about with the Arkham games, like especially like when the guy went at him with the baseball bat and hit him, and then he grabbed the bat and like swung at him and hit him. That was straight out of the Arkham games, because like that's something that all the thugs in those games, they come at you with the bat and then you counter them and grab it and then hit them with the bat and then throw it down, like and using the guns and hitting them with the guns and all that. Like that was straight out of the Arkham game, and the action was definitely inspired by those games for sure. And it's crazy because like other video games, I talked about this when I was playing Arkham, like other video games took that fighting style and built and did their own thing with it. But it was crazy to see a film take that fighting style. Like that's how impactful that fighting style is to not only just Batman, but like in general.
Speaking of Batman, I don't know, what did you think of his suit? Of course, like I said, that Batarang attachment was awesome. But what did you think of the suit?
I loved it. I thought it was really cool because, like, it was very much like looked like it was put together. Like it looked like somebody was. Made him look very inexperienced, but also like very hardened. At the same time, like
Yeah.
because I thought like the Nolan films in general were just too polished. In that way, just visually. But this film really nailed the grittiness and the hard boiled aspect of this. And this, like I said, this felt very much like a crime film. A lot of people said this is like a film noir. No, it's not. But it is more like a hard crime film more than like a noir. Because a noir has like the camera work is a lot more, dependent on natural lighting, and even just the dialogue itself is a little bit more, clever and snappy and lead you more in directions. While this film kind of uses visuals and also, the dialogue is just, it gets a little amateurish at times. But overall, I think it's definitely not the worst written movie. It's pretty, it's pretty okay. I think there was definitely some cringy dialogue in here at times, but overall, I was pretty impressed more so with the story. And like I said, that's usually my biggest problem with a lot of films. That was my problem with, No Time to Die and a lot of other films. It's just the story just kind of doesn't make any sense, or, it's too complicated for its own good, or just, there's too many holes in it. There wasn't too many plot holes in this film outside of the Selena Kyle Falcone thing, which we mentioned, was just kind of out of place.